This is Amelia Miyakisi. I am the operator and owner of Renew Me Life Coaching Services. This past week, I spoke about divorce. Um, there's a lot of feelings and emotions with divorce. Some of that is guilt and not maybe doing all that you thought you could in order to save the marriage. And if you have children, what that looks like for them. It looks like maybe they're losing their family, that it's not going to be the same anymore, that they're not going to be happy. But let me tell you, if you have any type of dysfunction, if you're arguing all the time, if there is something going on, maybe the kids, of course, didn't know, any type of anything. Trust me when I say the kids want you and your past significant other to be happy. You cannot be that if you are constantly arguing and fighting and going through it with the other person. My kids, I'm telling you from my own experience, they told me once we said we were going to get divorced, they said, "What took you so long?" Blew my mind. When I tell you they blew my mind, they blew my mind. What took you so long? And I'm sitting there, I'm like, well, I was staying because, I wanted you guys to have a full family and know what that was like and this, that, and the other. They said, I want you to be happy. So if you're feeling guilty because you think the kids are going to be upset, they may actually be thinking that it's time for you all to go ahead and part so you both can be happy. You might have some anxiety about what will happen in the future because maybe you hadn't been on your own in a while. I'm going to tell you what my mom told me. Um, you did not come you did not come into this world with the other person. So what makes you think you cannot live without them? Made sense? Start looking and working towards that. Anxiety is a self-doubt. A lot of it is self. And one way to get through your self-doubt is to start thinking about what it is that you contributed during that time that you were married and what they contributed and see if it's such a huge difference. I know for myself, um, I was thinking, how in the world am I going to be able to pay all these bills and do this, that, and the other? And he is not here. But let me tell you, I started recalculating and thinking about the things that I had already contributed, what he was contributing. I realized I had done quite a bit and I could do it. I could make it happen. When I tell you that once we split and things happened, things started flowing, started really going how they were supposed to. And oddly enough, I was able to save more money instead of the other way around. Reason being, when you have an additional body, you pay out additional expenses, right? And so we didn't have that additional body in the house. I was able to save more than what I thought I we ended up living much better uh, once he had left. Now, mind you, that does not negate any feelings or anything that you may have, but I felt better about the fact that I would be able to do this. I went from my mother's house, my parents' home, to living with him. So I had never been on my own, didn't know what that looked like. Would I be able to go ahead and take care of things like I should have? But what you don't realize is when you're in a marriage, a lot of times, not all, a lot of times, being the woman, you take care of quite a bit of things. You are running things as where you are running the major portion of the household and you come together on certain things and talk about certain things. You are the major one that's running the household. And so while I was doubting that maybe I could do this, that wasn't the case. I ended up and I started looking at what I had been doing and knew that I could do it and have been doing it for the past 12 years. Go figure. Um, so I wanted to kind of talk about that. There is a kid's perspective to it. I definitely can tell you the kids want you to be happy, they want you to be whole. You guys can make arrangements so that you can still function as a family, just not you and your significant ex significant other. The relationship will be different. Let me say that the relationship will be different. Different is not always bad. It might be a good thing. You might get along much better because you are not together. Um, my next video will talk about what is like after the divorce and what you can look